welcome to Turtle Burger Crochet and Knitting. My name is Britnee. This is episode, I believe, 13. Today's date is June 7th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new or returning, I'm just thankful to have all of you. Before we get into some of all my projects, I have an announcement, and I'm really nervous for some reason. So Turtle Burger Crochet and Knitting podcast now has a Ravelry group with open threads, and that was a really big step for me. I thought it was really above where I am, I guess. But I have a very good friend, Leslie, who has encouraged and supported that. So thank you, Leslie. So that is now open. I will leave a thread, or a link to that group. We would love to have you. And so kind of hand in hand with that announcement, Leslie and I were talking today, and we were going to do just kind of she and I were going to make a shawl together. It's called the Be Simple Variations shawl. I will put a picture here. And so I just kind of got to thinking, oh, that would be kind of a fun informal knit along to have. So there will be an open thread for that by the time this post, hopefully in the morning. That KAL, like I said, it's very informal. There's no prizes or anything. It's just inviting you to join Leslie and I while we make the same shawl, and we would love to have you. I will talk more about the pattern and the yarns that I have later on in the podcast, because it kind of goes with the acquisition section on some of it. The dates for the knit along will be this Friday, which is June 10th, and it will run through next Friday, June 17th. So it's just a very quick shawl. It is not very big. It's kind of in between like a shawl and a shawlette is the way the picture looks to me. It is very adaptable. The pattern says any yarn, any weight, anything that you want. So it's if you're using a fingering weight yarn, it is a one skein project, about 400 yards or so. So keep that in mind, when you're choosing your yarn. But it is a free pattern on Ravelry. So again, I would love to have you come join the group, even if you don't join the knit along. This time I do have more planned in the future. And like I said, I will talk more about the pattern and the yarns that I'm thinking of choosing later on. Okay, with that being said, I'll try to get my nervousness over. Let me get my drink here. This is just water, and it's got it is the Walmart brand of it's like an energy powder with a little bit of caffeine. It's wild strawberry, but it's really, really good. Try not to drink as much coffee. I still need the caffeine. Okay, so let's get into finished objects. Today's finished object, I only have one, which these are for Turtle, our son. He is, well, he's not doing anything. He is going to wear these this winter. These are the World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knit. This is the child size, but it does fit me. They are so quick to knit up. I really, really like this pattern. I have plans to make our entire family some. So all 5 of us, and for this winter. And with this, so this is my only finished object, and I submitted this into a yarn tail podcaster Karen, she is having a 10 can knits knit along, so I submitted that, and I already had those planned, so I just went ahead and submitted them. This is in Karen Simply Soft, and I believe you start out, the cuff is done with a 4mm needle, and then you go up to a 5mm needle. I still don't know like the US sizes of knitting needles. In crochet, you just use like an H5mm, and so I really don't know the sizes. I'm gonna say maybe a 4, I don't know what they are. Are you okay? Oh, right there. Okay, I come kiss it. But with that, I still have, because that obviously didn't use very much yarn at all, I started making Turtle a matching, this is going into works in progress, by the way. This is going into, how many times can I say that? Gosh. Okay, so this is a Barley Hat. And I really haven't gotten anywhere. I've only gotten a couple of rows into the purl ridges here. Really cute hat. And I'm making the child size on that as well. Again, Karen Simply Soft, and both of these are in the color Autumn Red. Let's see. Okay, what else do we have here? The next work in progress I have is barely anywhere, but I have started a cuff for me and a cuff for little lady. Look how cute. There's not much differences there. So these will be matching Holly White socks from Breaking Yarn. She actually is having a Holly White knit along to go with, that you can double dip into summer sock camp. And as you know, I was making us matching Holly White socks anyway, and so I will be submitting these into that. So mine, I am adapting it to be a shorty sock, and I'm also playing around with the with my measurements. Like in all the pattern socks, you know, a typical small pattern is 56 stitches. I feel like with my, which fits fine when I have a longer sock, but I'm noticing in the few shorties that I've made here recently that my ankle area must be a little thinner. So I am trying 52 stitches for that to be a shorty sock for me. And then little lady is getting matched, and for hers there is not an actual child size per se, so I'm just kind of playing around with the socks that I did for her over Christmas, and I cast on 40 for her. I figure even if they're too big, she can grow into them. Not a huge deal. And this is yarn. I bought one skein previously, and Leslie, like I mentioned before, she donated a skein of this. And it is Huntington Valley yarns from, I got mine from Webs, yarns.com or yarn.com, whatever it is. And it is in the color red purple. And it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and each skein is 50 grams. So I'm excited to get those done. And I'm also excited about it because when I tested the Holly White sock, I used a heavily, I don't know if it's variegated or speckled yarn. I would think of it as variegated. So you couldn't really see the pattern in it, which is actually really, really pretty. So, and very easy. These will work up in no time. Okay, so the next thing I have is my husband, Ternie. I have gotten very little progress on his sock. By the way, you're probably hearing little lady sing Coco Melon. It's okay. It's okay. We hear it all day long. It's okay. But anyway, so this is Ternie's sock. This progress keeper is marking where I was last time, so I got from here to here, which is about 10 rows. And this is a stitch marker from Carla of Carla Knits podcast, and these are just marking. I did a Judy's Magic cast on, which is this one, and usually I don't start counting until after I finish the toe increases, but I just completely forgot, I guess. So each of these light bulb stitch markers are marking 10 rows. I thought I was getting so far into the foot section. No, I got the Fish Lips Kiss heel pattern maybe a month or two ago, something like that, and I still have not done a Fish Lips Kiss heel, but I did make the foot forms. Here is mine, and then I did Ternie's the other day, and so I was like, oh, let's see how much, I've got on your foot. So I put it on the heel form. Let me see. Let me do it for y'all. And that's all I've got. But yet I thought I was like well into the foot. Maybe not that far down, but I thought I was pretty good into the foot, but apparently not. So, but anyway. So that's going to take longer than I was expecting. I was hoping to give it to him for his birthday. Probably not going to happen. So, we'll just keep chucking along on that. And that yarn, that beautiful blue yarn, is also Huntington Valley Yarns in the color blue. It is, again, a 75/25, and the skein is 50 grams. I have two. I don't know if I'm going to need more than two. I don't know. We'll see. It's a good thing I'm doing toe up, because then I can just use the whole skein if I need to, and no problem. Let me just make a little side note here. If you've been following me, you know I have two other works in progress. My love note, I did like 1.5 rows on it, so it's not even worth showing. In the last podcast, I was debating on what to do with it. Ultimately, what I decided is to just keep going with it. I'm already using the same needle size and everything as the pattern calls for. I'm just gonna trust the designer. I have made several tin can knit patterns before. I'm usually on target with their gauge, so I really couldn't figure out the gauge with this because it's so loose. So I'm just gonna make it, and if I need to just wear it as a house shirt, then so be it. No big deal. It's the first garment I'm making, so I'm not gonna worry too much or stress myself out about it or be hard on myself. That's the main thing about it. I will say though that if you have never made one and you're going to make one, I probably would not use a bamboo needle and a yarn with bamboo in it. It's not worth the hassle. Get a metal needle. Do what? Huh? Okay. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so, and then the other work in progress that I have is Little Lady's Goldfish cardigan. I haven't touched that in so long, also not worth showing. So that's a side note on those two. My last work in progress is a test knit, and it's kind of a half finished object work in progress. So it is like I said, a test knit sock for Haxann Evers, who I just found out has a primarily, well, no, she crochets and knits. Anyway, she has a pattern here and on YouTube, or a pattern podcast, and a YouTube channel called Freeform Knits. Freeform Knit? I think it's Freeform Knits. I'll link it. Anyway, and so she is new to me, but when I saw in the testing call, I was like, that is such a cute sock. I have to make it. So I did. I asked to test it. So here is the finished sock. So it is cuffed down. As you can see, this is called the Princess Shorties. The Princess Cuff Shorties. It has a beautiful picot cuff. This was my first time doing it. It took a little bit, but it's not hard once you get the hang of it. I would mark at the very least your first and last stitches, but you know, there's plenty of YouTube tutorials. It's not that bad at all. I was like, it is so cute. And I was glad I did it because I have had a design in mind for a while of a sock. I just haven't done it because frankly, I don't have the confidence to. So I'm like making all the socks and learning what I can. But I knew that I did want to use this in it. Now I'm not so sure. I'm thinking more of a tubular. But anyway, a tubular cast on for it, but, or bind off. I haven't decided which, if I'm doing toe up or cuff. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So it has this really cute picot cuff edge, and it has this beautiful detailing with the purl ridges in between knit stitches. And then the heel is a garter stitch heel, and I have never seen a heel done, not only garter stitch heel, but the method in which she uses to pick up the stitches and the garter stitch and everything. And she has a stockinette version that's in the pattern too. And my next pair, I'm going to try that because I really, really like this. Now, the needle I used on that she called for, and I used as a 2.75 millimeter. So to me, that felt a little loose, and I was like, it's kind of, one thing that was kind of odd is, to me, a 2.75, but you're using the same stitch counts. Like, it's still a 56 count for me, for the small, still 56 stitch count for the sock. And that's usually what I do on a 2.25. So I don't know if that means she knits really tight, and so she has to use a bigger needle. I'm not sure how that works, but anyway, but the sock actually does fit. I was very amazed at that. Now, the garter stitch heel is very stretchy. I feel like it's going to be durable because of the ridges. I haven't finished the second one yet, so I can't, you know, really testify to that, but it feels like it will be very durable. It is very stretchy. So if you are someone, or you make socks for someone that has a wide heel or tends to wear holes in the heel, I feel like this would be a very, very good heel to try. How many more times can I say heel? But anyway, and I will say, because of that 56 stitch count, also when I got to the foot, I was a little hesitant about it. So when I got to the second repeat, the second row of the second repeat, I actually decreased to 52 stitches and did that until I got to the toe, and it fits beautifully, and that's actually the reason why I decided to try the Holly White socks on a 52 stitch count. I really, really like the way that felt. Now, when I got to the foot, the toe decreases, I was so confused on how to convert them by leaving out 4 stitches. So I completed the rounds that I did, and then I did one extra where I increased those 4 stitches and brought it back to 56 stitches so that I could do her pattern as is with the 56. What is it? There, your teeth? Do you want some water? Yes, okay. Okay, thanks for your patience. Mom life. I don't remember where I was. Oh, the toe. So anyway, after I did all the foot length that I wanted. I did 1 round plus increase back to 56 and then continued on. Her toe decrease, I don't know if this is a like her specified toe or if it's a legitimate toe decrease. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up, but in the pattern she calls it a hat trick toe. I thought that was really neat, and I really like it. It actually fits super well. The yarn that I'm using, you may recognize this was the original Holly White, but I still had so much left over. This sock, by the way, took 22 grams on the size small, so it is very, very yarn friendly. But the yarn that I'm using is Southern Skeins in the color. This is not going to do y'all any good, but the color is Holly Jolly. It is a 75-25 2-ply, or 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it is 2-ply yarn. Very nice. I like it. This was in their December subscription box that my husband gave me for Christmas or my birthday. Excuse me, I can't remember. Now, there is, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, a big hole right here. Obviously, I did not have my tension very good because this is where I worked at Magic Loop, and where I would have, you know, needed to pull my yarn to, you know, you pull your cord long and then bring it around. So let's get into acquisitions, kind of. Now, the acquisitions, I did not purchase anything myself this time, but I am going to show more of what Leslie donated to the podcast, that which I shared last time. And I am showing these particular skeins because I would like to have them as considerations for the Be Simple variations shawl. Actually, before I do that, okay, so this is part of acquisitions, yes, but I also wanted to show it because it's going to be, when I finish all these projects, this is going to be a future knit, the next pair of socks that I make. And Leslie gave me a skein of Stroll from Knit Picks, and this is the color, is there a color? I don't think there's a color, but it is a 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. It's 50 grams, and this will be just a perfect amount for another pair of shorties. So when I was looking up how to do the picot cuff on my princess cuff shorties sock test, one of the videos I came across was showing how to do it, or basically you cast on with a different color than what your main color is going to be, because it doesn't matter, it's hidden on the inside, and that way you know which stitches to pick up. I'm going to link that. It was actually a very good idea, and I did that on the second one. But anyway, the reason she was doing that video and explaining it, and I cannot remember her name right now, but I will have it linked. She was demonstrating the picot cuff on a sock called Florida Girl shorty socks. And I went to high school in Florida, love Florida. My husband and I want to go to Florida one day, and but anyway, and as I was like, oh, I want to go look at that pattern. And when I pulled up the pattern, it was so neat, because to me, they look kind of like shark gills. Like the pattern has, I'll put a picture, like little like slits on the side or something. And to me, she didn't mention this is what they were supposed to be, but to me they looked like shark gills. So when I saw the gray color yarn, I was like, those have to be the Florida Girl Shorty socks because it looks like a shark. So this is what's going to be next. Okay. So now I can get into the other ones. So for the shawl, I've got several options here, and I am hoping you all leave me a comment down below for your opinion so that I know, because there's just so many choices. So I'm going to start with this one because I showed it on the last podcast. This is also from Leslie. This is Ulta Truth in the color Purple Plum. It is a very beautiful dark royal color purple. Very, very pretty. This is an 80% merino wool, 20% baby alpaca, DK weight. And again, I know I said it in the beginning, but I'm going to reiterate. This is any yarn, any weight. You just use your corresponding needle size. So if you want to make this with Leslie and I, come and join the Turtle Burger Crochet and Knitting Podcast Ravelry group. There will be a thread there. I'm going to try to start that tonight. It's like it, and again, like I said before, it's very informal. There's no prizes or anything. It's going to be one thread for chatter and your finished objects. It's just for fun. It's a very short 1 week thing. It was just something Leslie and I were doing together, and it's so funny because yesterday I actually saved that pattern. I was looking for free socks. I have a search on Ravelry for free socks, and sometimes because you're using sock yarn, it comes up with, you know, different hats, blankets, cowls, you know, other things that you're using sock yarn for. And that was one, and I was like, that's really pretty. I'm going to save that. And then today she said, does anyone want to make this with me? I'm like, yes, I just saved it. So that was kind of funny. That's how it started. So we're doing it. So this is the first choice, Ulta Truth, in the color Purple Plum. The next color I was considering is also from Leslie. Perennial yarns. This is 60% superwash merino, 25% Surrey alpaca, and 15% nylon, 497 yards. And this is in the color Lead, and it is a really pretty grayish that I think it's very soft. I think it would be very good for winter or like springish, you know, if spring or summer where you're like indoors and you want something light around your neck. I think that would be really good for it. But I also think because it's gray, it would be very appropriate for winter time as well. So that is an option. And then if you know me, you know I gotta go with the brights. So the next two options, they're actually bundled together. These are Pima cotton. This one's Ultra Pima. They're both 100% cotton, which would be perfect for summertime. This one is in the color 8474. There's not a color number, but it's 8474. It's a beautiful teal, which is my happy place. And then this one is in the color, whoops, sorry. Is in the color 3703, which is beautiful. And actually, any of these colors would work well together. I'm just not very good at knowing when to change color and mix colors and stuff. So that's why I usually go for solids. And oh, okay, I'll get it. Unless it's like a variegated or something. And then the next option is also from Leslie. This is Andean Treasure. Each of these are 50 grams, so I would use both of these. They're a size 2, 100% baby alpaca, so soft. Does this have a color? It says Calypso Heather. I don't know if that's the color, or I feel like that's the color. I think it's the color. Calypso Heather. So pretty, so soft. It's like a deeper teal kind of color. Very pretty. And also would be usable for spring, summer, and then winter. Fall and winter. So year round on that one. And then these next two were gifts from my husband. I think for my birthday. And both of these, they did not come marked. Okay. So both of these are from Monarch Yarns. She is an Indiana dyer on Etsy. They didn't come marked, so I don't know the colors, but this one is kind of purplish. And then this one, her inspiration was Lake Michigan. So, and these are like a teal and a light blue. And these were our wedding colors. So I'm pretty partial to this one. And I've been wanting to make a project with it. So I'm not sure if that's what I want to do with it yet. But, so there's that one. So yeah, it has kind of teal, like a light teal and blue. And then this one again is kind of the purplish. So let me know what you think. We have, we'll call this one Lake Michigan. We'll call this one light purple. We have Calypso Heather. We have teal or purple Pima Cotton. We have Lead. And we have Purple Plum. So let me know what you all think. That is today's episode. I really hope you will consider coming and joining us on Ravelry and with the informal knit along. It's already a lot of fun. So, you know, you're welcome to come and join us. I think that's it for today. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you soon. Bye.